Hello Electroheads and welcome to another community upload. Today's video comes all the way from South Africa from our friend Matthew, who's made a little video about what it's like living with an electric car in his city of Johannesburg. Don't forget, if you want to see yourself on the Electroheads channel, you can email us at community@electroheads.com, send us in a video, or if you have an idea for a video but you haven't quite figured it all out yet, just shoot us an email and we'll help you as best we can. Just a very quick update from our end. Obviously we're all self-isolating at the moment due to the coronavirus, but please rest assured we will be bringing you new uploads every single week during this time. We've got a couple of videos that we already have shot that are just waiting to get edited, and if push comes to shove, I have a few ideas for some videos that I can easily film on my own in my bedroom. That's not as weird as it sounds, I promise. We're also doing lots of cool stuff on Instagram at the moment, so be sure to follow us at Electroheads101 to see behind the scenes footage, news, and just general cool shit. And without further ado, over to you, Matty K.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Matty K here and I'm in my beautiful city, Johannesburg. And behind me is the car I've been using for quite some time now. It's the BMW i3. Can you live with it? Is electric cool? Let's go see some cool places and find out. I love everything about Johannesburg. I like its people, I like its hustle, I like the drive to get things done. This is exactly what I want from the city that I live in. And the car that I've chosen to be with fits that so perfectly. This is a BMW i3. It is BMW's only pure electric car, which means there are no engine components, none whatsoever that are internal combustion. The car is completely electric, and now that I've lived with the car for a bit, I can understand the electromobility aspect of this car. It makes you think a little bit more about your decisions, where you go, planning your routes. But at the same time, when the car is still and you're sitting in traffic, you notice the fumes that are coming out the exhaust of bikes, for example, or cars or trucks. And that goes further when you start to make more decisions about eating. You want to eat more environmentally conscious food and you want to start taking care of things. So the movement behind the car is very, very evident. And I like that. And I never thought I'd say it because I'm a huge, huge petrol head. I like noise. I like pops and bangs. I like a V8 and a twin turbo every now and then. But having spent time in this car, it's really shifted my thinking. It was at this point that I noticed I needed a charge, and lucky for me, Malrazaj had 3 public charge stations that I could use for free. In early 2018, there were around about 22 stations that could be used for charge in South Africa, but currently, as it stands, at late 2019, there are now 132 across the country. So, I found the nearest charge station and began the process. I started by finding the charge cable located in the front, where I met up with my friend Rob Forbes. I then explained how to juice up my car. Now it's a very lengthy and tedious process, but fun nevertheless. First you plug the one end of the cable into the charge station and the other into the car where the petrol cap would normally be. You then take the charge card and activate the station, where you then choose your method of powering up and simply wait until it's done. This can take anywhere from 4 hours with the normal charger to sometimes 30 minutes with the fast charger. If you don't have any access to these, as they can cost a pretty penny to install at your house, and you use the 3-pin socket on your wall, it'll take a lengthy 8 hours for a full charge. Hey, what's up guys? So this is my guest, aspiring DJ. He needs all the help he can get, but we're going to check out one of Joburg's best coffee shops. So Rob,
Matthew's promised this is really good coffee. I've never been here before, but we're going to go and have a look.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. This place is the best, you say?
This is the best coffee place you'll ever find in Joburg.
What's in a magic grind?
Magic grind is a double ristretto,
Yeah.
full 3/4,
Yeah.
flat white cup.
Okay.
Awesome.
Layer that up.
To you.
Cool.
You guys gonna pick up?
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Hey, man. Thank you. Perfect.
Thanks
Thank
so
you so
much.
much, dude. Mine's bigger than yours.
This time.
Dude, how long have you been zipping around in that thing for now?
So I've tried it out for a couple of weeks, and it's changed a lot about how I think about mobility and moving around from place to place, which is weird because you don't actually think about it when you're in a normal petrol power car, because you always want the best and you always want more power and stuff like that. But you don't necessarily think about emissions, and I think we always make fun of people like that. But when you're in a car that's totally silent, I can see fumes and I can hear cars turning off and on, and you can smell things. I don't know if it makes me more visually aware.
You're like separate from all of that.
Yeah, and it isolates you from, I think, that sort of sad reality that we're all trying to cover up and not acknowledge.
But like practical, Joburg, I mean, we're not like first world electric car kind of company with charge points all over the place.
Yeah.
How's that actually been?
So you have to plan your routes. You definitely have to plan your routes. I think
Makes sense.
the only places that are known to people now, because you can go on a website and find it online, because there are plenty that I've never even heard of, but the ones I've known are Melrose Arch, and there's a place in Pretoria, which I don't know of. But the other ones are, you can go to a BMW dealership and you can charge there.
And you can charge it there.
Yeah, that's a fast charge. But again, you have to plan your routes, because I've made the mistake of getting the car and going from place to place and doing nothing. And then I'm stuck and I'm like, oh, I've got 20 Ks of range and I'm nowhere near a charge station. I've had to put it in eco and just drive slowly. So there's a lot of planning involved with electric. There's a ton
But like fast charge versus normal charge versus like how long does this take?
So there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can do the normal 3-prong into your wall in your house, which plugs into the car. That takes about 9 hours because it's using a normal thin cable.
Slow.
So sluggish, you get about 9 hours. So ideally for a normal person who doesn't want to spend money on upgrading the electric, you come in at night, plug it in, when you wake up in the morning it's fully charged.
Yeah.
Or you can go buy a supercharger, which they come and install in your house, which costs some money.
Yeah. It's
not really cheap, let's say that. But you have to have 3-phase power in your house. So that's the other thing. And not many houses are 3-phase. And then there's also the issue of everybody stays in a townhouse, and you can't really charge in a townhouse, so it's freestanding, and so there's a whole bunch of that
So
stuff.
if you're sectional title, are you allowed to even put it on the bloody wall?
So there's loopholes with it. Or you can go to a dealership or the charge stations in and around. And if you plan your day, you go here, just like what we did. We came here for a little bit of coffee. The car's charging. It gets 30, 40 Ks within the time we're here. And then by the time we're done, unplug, go to the next destination. At the next destination,
Plug it in there.
Plug it in. So if you plan and you're careful, it does work, and it does save you a lot of money.
It must be really nice in one of those places overseas where there are like charging stations everywhere.
Yeah.
Who are gearing up and building for this.
It's convenient because I've got friends in the UK and the US, and Teslas, it's massive there. And they, unfortunately, are the big pioneer names of it. But it's become so accessible. Whatever mall they go to, business park, office park, even if it's like there's always a charge point. Whereas here, the facilities need to be upgraded where there needs to be more of them at malls and more places of interest that we go to.
True.
Then electric mobility can work. But at the same time, if it works now in the future, I can't say it does. Because it can easily be done. You just need a little bit of careful planning. So speaking of coffee, we're at the grind.
This is good, by the way.
This is very good.
This is very good.
One of my favorite coffee shops in the whole of Johannesburg. Definitely a spot to check out. What is it about small, quaint coffee shops like this that have, sort of alternative menus and different milks for people? Because they've got a whole range. They've got almonds, soy, they've got
macadamia has
everything.
Become a thing lately.
So everything that can cater for someone who's got healthy. So what is it that draws you to a coffee shop like this as opposed to a bigger chain?
It's just nice to have alternatives that are away from, the ones that everyone uses. I mean, a little place like this is nice and out of the way, and you can come and sit and work, and they sort of take what they do hella seriously. You can tell, like the guys downstairs, the baristas, on point with the coffee, the options are all there, they've thought about the menu. I looked around downstairs, I mean, sweet potato brownies that are like gluten and sugar free.
It's amazing.
I mean, Oaks are putting some time and some effort into what they're doing. So
nice
these kind of places are great, dude. I enjoy this one.
Yeah, it's nice to know that you also, thought of and taken care of.
Yes.
But it's a personal experience.
Yeah.
Because you come here, barista will know your name, he'll get to know your order.
Yeah. Walk through the door, here it is, waiting for you.
Yeah, instead of it just being like a corporate, you're just a number. What would you like? Number 7 with extra shot of milk and this and
yes.
So
that's what you don't have time for.
What I like. But I'm getting a bit hungry. So, you feeling for some food?
We're taking the car.
Of course.
Yeah,
You've got to know what it's like to drive an electric car. So I know the perfect spot for us to go to.
Okay, let's go have some breakfast.
Nice.
Cool.
one of the spots I was telling you that's
Yes.
hot, up and coming. It's called Lexi's. Best food, but also because we've been in an eco car and it's saving the environment, this is also environmentally friendly food.
Okay.
Check it out.
Super healthy, super
Yeah.
cool. Yo, dude, I'm definitely having smashed avo.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Smashed
the
avo on toast. Come on.
shawarma style falafel.
Okay. Cool.
This is cool though because, again, when you come to the city,
Yeah.
you always go to the big places that Google and come up first.
Yes.
You don't think about small places like this, do you?
No. No, especially not new and out there and got a good idea. And I mean, let's get fresh, eat more plants.
Exactly.
You know.
So why should someone come to a more eco-friendly place? So you're in the lifestyle of in an electric car. So
Yeah.
you're forward thinking, you're saving the
Okay.
environment, you're doing everything you need to do.
Yeah.
So why would someone now deviate themselves towards a place like that?
Well, I think like it makes sense if we're going to take a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
You might as well take a step in the right direction for more things. Yeah. You know, I mean, we know how painful for the environment certain kinds of farming, intensive
Exactly.
farming can be. We know how cruel it can be on animals. So like an onus becomes more like focus on what you're doing. And if
Exactly.
we're going to take a step in the right direction,
Yeah.
don't just like, okay, cool, my car's okay,
Yeah.
but I still eat badly.
Exactly.
Like you can afford to look after yourself a little bit better.
It goes hand in hand because if you think about it, you have a normal car
Yeah.
and it does all its duties, but then you switch to electric, and electric's very, very in our face right now. So
Yeah.
you get an electric car and then you start, as we spoke about earlier, you see the fumes and you hear the noises, you're like, that's quite concerning. And then you start to focus on, okay, well, my food consumption. I need to start eating healthier. I need to start
Yes, I
becoming
need to
a better
start
person.
looking
Yeah.
after my body a bit more. You
It's
know?
rad. I think it goes hand in hand. It's a nice little cycle. So, I would always mock people who would be like, "Oh, well, you're environmentally conscious and you're thinking about saving the environment." But now spending time in the car, it actually does make a conscious
Yeah,
impact
makes
on
you think about it.
which is
and I mean,
absolutely huge.
yeah, and I think if you're already one of those people who's in this sort of lifestyle,
Yeah,
getting the electric car makes sense as well from the other side.
Yeah.
You know, it works both ways very nicely.
so a Gen Z and a millennial who would watch this,
You mean me and my smashed avo toast?
you and your smashed avo toast and my shawarma style falafel, which I'm going to try, which is actually really great. Do you think that they're sending the right message with the whole sustain the environment?
Yeah.
Or do you think they're
Absolutely.
going about it the wrong way? Because I mean,
Nah.
being a millennial myself, like
Yeah.
I'm also on that weird sense of born early 90s. So I understand what's going on, but I'm not as extreme. Do you think that maybe there are things that a generation like mine could do? As
I think
opposed
we
to-
could all afford to do a bit better. I think kids these days are more in touch.
Yeah.
I think they know more, and I think they're more interested than we were.
Yeah.
I think because it wasn't a thing for us, you never got that interest as a young person.
Yeah.
Whereas like the stuff you cared about as a teenager, you still care about now.
Sure.
You know, so I think if that was your like part of your lifestyle then, I think it makes sense that it's a massive part of your lifestyle now. And I think kids these days have just had enough.
They have.
You know, being told like, oh, this is too big a problem, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
We're like, shut up. There are electric cars out there, we can eat vegan, you can do stuff.
Exactly.
You know?
And you have a place like Lexi, now she's got her fourth one open, so she's
Yeah.
doing extremely well. But at the same time, you have a thinker like her who's opening a place like this, which is eat more plants.
Yeah.
It's all on the wall.
And I mean,
eat
again,
fresh
she's
food.
only 23 or what?
Yeah,
You know?
she's early 20s.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. And the more people start to do things like this, where we're telling people it's okay to be cool when you eat stuff like
Yeah,
this.
it's fine. There's no meat in this menu.
No,
there's nothing here.
No meat. There is
You
a
know?
burger section, but I mean,
It's, you don't need it. It doesn't have to be a
Majority-
thing. And you know, we're not saying everyone needs to go completely vegan overnight.
Yeah.
But just like have a meat-free Monday.
exactly.
Cut down a little.
Your
think a little.
consumption.
Yeah, think a bit more about it.
And also, it's a rad place to come to because prices aren't bad. And I think there's also a conception that nice food like this is expensive, which it isn't.
Yes. No, it doesn't have to be at all.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot about what I think.
Yeah.
It has.
And I mean, it's going to go nicely with your new electric car lifestyle.
It does.
This peanut butter thing is good.
Really? I'm glad you like it. Thanks for watching this episode of Electroheads. If you like it, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And while you're there, give the channel a subscribe because we need your support so we can make more things like this. Back to the food, sorry. This is really good.
It's really good.
Might actually get this in takeaway.